So we have, so today I will be discussing on Cloud Run. So I already have a few of the videos on serverless and Cloud Run, so you can check them out if you have not seen. So it's on my YouTube channel. Just let me show you that. So I already have those videos which are there. So this one was there, introduction to serverless with Cloud Run. And then another one was Cloud Run with the GitHub Actions. So now we'll go further and we'll do two more demos today. One will be deploying Cloud Run Hello World application on GKE, and another one will be using Terraform. So Terraform is very, I mean, it's not popular now. It has been popular for a long time now. So we'll be using Terraform as well. So I have already a cloud account, and the same GitHub repo that I have been using, my GitHub repo is there. So this GitHub repo will be using for the demo purpose. So let's begin with the demos. So this is the plain GCP account. And what we are going to do is first let's do the GKE demo, and then we'll do the Terraform demo. So for the GKE demo, obviously the first step is creating the Kubernetes engine, and we'll go ahead and create the Kubernetes engine. So let's click on Kubernetes. And as soon as we click on Kubernetes engine, it will start enabling the API. As you can see, the Kubernetes engine API is being enabled. Yeah, we have to wait. No other option. Yeah, we have the option. What we can do is we can still go back to the repo and just see what is happening over there. So now what we'll do is, so this is just a sample, draft. I can create a gist out of that if you want. I mean, it's just nothing fancy over here. It's just the configurations and steps that I have mentioned so that I don't forget anything or I don't fall into trouble. So we'll be using the same repo. I think the API should be enabled by now. Okay, let's go ahead and create the cluster. So in this session, I'll not talk about like the depths of GKE itself. Obviously, in future, I can do a live session on GKE deep dive as well if you want. That's not a problem. But for now, we'll just create a GKE clusters and do the necessary steps that are required to run Cloud Run on GKE. So let's click on create cluster. So that's a very fresh from scratch. So you can do it on your own, or you can follow along, or you can do it later. Okay, it's taking some time. I don't know whether whenever I am giving the demos, the network is slow. So let me see if it's due to, yeah, I think it has slowed down a bit. Okay, it's not responding. Okay, it's there finally. So this is the cluster creation page for GKE. So what we'll do is we'll give it a name. Let's give it Cloud Run Demo. And let's now go to the default pool. In the default pool, I would prefer a few extra nodes because sometimes when we are enabling a service STO, it creates a lot of pods in the STO namespace, STO system namespace, and you might run out of capacity. So for safety precautions, let me take 5. Then let's go to the node. I'll not take big size nodes. Let me take N1 standard 2. That should be enough. Boot disk size also is 50 gigs enough because we're not doing some heavy operations. In the security section, I want to allow full access to the cloud API so that the cloud API interaction is smooth. Then let's go to the feature section and enable Cloud Run for Anthos and enable the Istio as well. So these things, this is just simple settings, creating the cluster. Now let's hit on create. Obviously, it will take few minutes to create, and then we'll we'll deploy the Cloud Run application. Oh, yes, you can do it from the gcloud commands as well. There's no harm in creating from the gcloud commands if you want to. So, but for that, you need to have your gcloud create command. Or by the way, while creating a cluster, in the end, small bottom, it's given like gcloud clusters deploy. That particular command also comes whenever you apply any or create any GCP product, GCP service. So that is there. In the meanwhile, what we can do is, so be sure you check the Cloud Run, obviously, the Cloud Run demos. So this is the repository that we use. Yes, I'll put all the links. Yeah, I can put all the links and everything in the repository itself, so you don't have to switch between the gist and the repository. So I'll put in the repository itself. Let's see what else we have now. Okay, we have the cluster. Yes, now it's just that we have to create the Cloud Run service. So let's open the Cloud Run. Meanwhile, the service is getting created. Oh, it doesn't allow me to open the next tab, but from here, if I open it, should allow. Cloud Run. Open a new tab. By the way, GKE turned 5. And they have released, I think, a Kubernetes quest on Quick Labs with 1 month free access. And I just tweeted about that as well yesterday. So you can click there and have a free 1 month access and learn GCP by doing, learn GKE by doing, and obviously it has some Kubernetes basics theoretical theory as well. I feel it's pretty good. So whatever we are getting to learn. And you know that Cloud Run is based on the Knative tech. So GKE enables some of the powerful features. Like GKE enables you to have the wait time or the the timeouts to be greater in time. And also you can use TPUs and the GPUs with Cloud Run when you are deploying it inside the GKE cluster. So I think it's almost ready. So we have got the cluster size as 5 and total cores and everything is displaying. The numbers are displaying. So it's coming up. And in the meanwhile, what we can do is we can also enable the Cloud Shell, because anyways, we'll be needing it for Terraform. And let's activate it and keep it open in another terminal window. Also, I would like to tell you that Hub Station July edition was out. So those who are new to the channel, Hub Station is a place where it's the monthly newsletter by the community and for the community. And we every month end we curate the list of the news, the tech updates, the blogs written by the community, and the very good podcasts, the event recordings, upcoming events, and other resources. And you can see in the other resources, it's really good. There are Go notes, Kubernetes notes, free credits, cloud credits for KHVS cluster, Kubernetes workshops, then tools and repositories to try out, and some of the links that you can join for collaboration. So this is kind of a newsletter by the community for the community. And if you want to contribute, then please go to the GitHub and the newsletter repository, and you can raise the issue. So like you can see, you can raise the issue. So these are by the community. People raise the issue, and I will include them in the next month's newsletter. So I think that's pretty good. I mean, that's a pretty good overview of the month, what has happened in the cloud native tech. So make sure you check that out. I'll paste the link. And let's open the terminal in the new window. I would want that in the new window, not in the... Okay, so our cluster is ready. So our GKE cluster is ready. So let's go to Cloud Run and we'll create a service over there. So let's close this terminal and create a service. So Cloud Run is a serverless offering by Google. And if you are new, I would recommend to go through my previous tutorials, which are there on YouTube, which they're actually from scratch, the introduction to serverless with Cloud Run, and then Cloud Run with GitHub Actions. So they have a few couple of demos. So now we are deploying Cloud Run for Anthos. We are not choosing the default Cloud Run fully managed. We are using Cloud Run for Anthos. Now it will show me the clusters available. So as of now, the cluster is not ready because I'm not able to select. So it is deploying some of the stuff in the background, and that some of the things are like Istio components and enabling the Cloud Run, which we selected in the features section while we were creating the GKE cluster. So let's go back and come back again and see if it's there. Okay, it will take some time more. I hope you at least have heard of GKE. So GKE is Google Kubernetes Engine, and it is a managed Kubernetes offering by Google. And it's the only one with a native Istio integration as well, which is still in beta. So yes, our cluster is ready and clickable. So I can select that, and it's the namespace, like in which namespace you want to deploy this particular Cloud Run application. Let's say cloud demo, and I want the connectivity to be external. Let's click next. So container image URL, we should have an image. So I think there's already a hello world already image present. So we'll use that. Let's create it. So it will be creating its revision over there. So Cloud Run demo is already there. So let's go in the cluster. So what's the good thing about GKE is that from GKE console, I mean, Google Cloud Console itself, you can see actually what all is happening inside the cluster. So you can see what all workloads are there. So you can see like the Cloud Run demo is already 1 out of 1 available. So let's try to get the Ingress. So Istio creates Ingress Gateway, and we'll be using the gateway to connect to, I mean, just to see whether our service is working. So how the service works is, so Cloud Run demo is there, and it says the URL is cloudrundemo.default.example.com, which is the name of the service, then the namespace, and that's how it looks. And after that, in the Cloud Shell, let me copy stuff, and so how we'll do is we'll do a curl command, and then we'll copy the Istio Ingress Gateway 80 port. Let me just do this. Okay. And let's copy the IP. Let's paste the IP over here. Okay, I shouldn't have copied the link address actually. Let me copy the IP again. So we'll go here. We'll copy the IP. Yes. So let's copy the IP and go back to the Cloud Shell, and Okay, so just let me check if my host name is correct. cloudrundemo.default.example.com. Okay, so I have given a wrong name. Okay, it's right only. Cloud Run Demo default example.com, cloud demo default example.com, and we should have HTTP. We should have I hope the service is still there. We have to pass the header. I think we have done it correct only. Why it is failing to connect? Let me increase the size, by the way. So what we are doing here is, okay, let me just change this thing as well. Yeah, that was the problem of an inverted comma because I copied it from my DNS name because if you know the concepts of Istio, how it works is you have a virtual service, then you have the gateway, and if you configure the DNS to be proper, then when you hit the DNS, you will be able to open from the web browser as well. So like this, you can actually you have seen that you have actually deployed a Cloud Run on GKE. So that's also one of the very good features that Cloud Run have introduced recently. And so we already discussed Cloud Run fully managed using my previous GitHub repository. Today we have discussed Cloud Run on GKE. Now let's go to our second demo of the day, which is spinning up a Cloud Run service using Terraform. So Terraform is an infrastructure provisioning tool. And again, if you have not seen the Terraform introduction, if you're very beginner, then this video is there, which tells you about, so where I discuss how you can use Terraform, basically what Terraform is, and the basic concepts of Terraform. So with this, let's move on to our Cloud Shell. I hope the font is clear. I can make a bit more big. So why I'm using Cloud Shell is because it reduces the pain of installing Terraform and everything. So you can see Terraform is already installed. So you already have the Terraform installed on the Cloud Shell. So I don't have to do anything. Let me go to the medium. So the node section. So we have cloned the repository. So this is my repository, that the same repository that we have been using from past few weeks. Let's go inside. Let's do a Docker build hyphen tag. And I hope you are well aware of all these commands by now, because Saloni has taught everything. And we should have the project ID that I'll copy from here. That's demo. So it's sending the build context to the daemon. And you all know the regular stuff from the Docker file. So our image is successfully tagged. Now let's push this image. And let's copy the Terraform file also that we have. Okay, let me clear the screen and let me increase font bit more for a better understanding. So let's create a file, which is, let's call it maybe demo.tf or Terraform file. And we have to change a couple of things over here. Let me just first change that, and then we'll move to the explanation part. So it is, yeah. So let me change this. And oh, it's not copied, I think. Let me copy that again. Okay. And one more place, which is this. Paste. Okay. So what we are doing is we are in Terraform, we have provider, and Google's Google provider is already there. So we give the provider and we give the project. We don't need to pass the credentials over here because we are using Cloud Shell and it's already authenticated with the project. Resources. So first thing that we need to do before actually using Cloud Run for before using the Cloud Run is we have to enable Cloud Run API. Now you must be thinking the Cloud Run API is already enabled, but that is not true. Yeah, but that is not true because only the Cloud Run for Anthos was enabled because we enabled it while creating the GKE cluster. We take that and when it was building the GKE cluster, it enabled that. That's why we are only able to create the service with Cloud Run for Anthos. So if you can directly enable it from here before running it and delete that section, or if you fully want to automate stuff, so you need to specify that first enable the Cloud Run API. So it is for enabling the API. Then you have your resource Cloud Run. So this is the actual resource. So what I'm doing here is I want to create a resource Cloud Run, and I want to give it a name Cloud Run Sayam, or you can give whatever you want. Then the location, and then the in the template spec container section, I want to keep the image. So this is the image that I want my service to be deployed. Then traffic, you can give how much percent traffic that you want to give. Depends on, again, it's very clear, like it depends on this particular thing. So unless and until the service, the Cloud Run API basically is not enabled, this particular resource will not getting start created, else it will throw an error. Then it is the IAM users, that IAM member role, that for all users it is getting created. So it's invoker Cloud Run invoker role. And after that, after getting created in the output section, what we want is we want the actual URL that we get, that is displayed on the UI. So we are getting the status 0, which will actually give the URL of the application where we can hit from the browser. So that is what is happening. So let's go ahead and run it. Let's do a Terraform init. And Terraform provider is there. Now let's clear the screen again. Let's do a Terraform apply. And yes, you can do a plan, but Terraform apply does the plan. So you can see that it will add all these things. So there should be 3 things. Yes, there are 3 things that will be created. Let's say yes. Hopefully it works. Or if it not, then definitely we'll debug it. So you can, okay, let's see here if the service is getting created. Let's go back. And if it is getting created, that means it is work in progress. Yes, it is saying creating over here. Let's go back here and see. Or do we need to refresh it? Let's do a refresh. And you can see that the Cloud Run SIEM is in creating state. So it is getting created in the region that we have mentioned. And it is the default service. I mean, it is the fully managed Cloud Run that we have created from Terraform. It is not on the GKE. So let's go back to the Cloud Shell. It is getting created. And after getting created, it should give the URL as well. So it's 50 seconds elapsed. Yeah, I think that's decent enough. And we can check back and forth just to verify, or maybe just to pass the time. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions regarding anything of this. So I'll be happy to answer. I'll be there for. I mean, let's spend a few minutes after the session and take your queries if there are any, and then we'll close. So it is created, and now it should give me the ID. Yes. So it gave me the URL that we expected. Now let's click on this URL and it should open the app. Hopefully it should open the app. Yes, it opened. So community. So hello community. We have successfully deployed a Cloud Run application using Terraform. So I think go back. That's what I say. So whatever demos I